In order to protect our worldwide economic lifelines and commitments with our allies, our Navy must maintain command of the seas. Western man learned to build his ships and navigate them within the area of the Atlantic and Mediterranean, and the balance of naval power still lies there. Since the days of the Constitution, the American Navy has never suffered defeat. Today, our ships range the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, putting in at friendly harbors. The British have been our staunch allies in guiding the destiny of the world through sea power, and their officers and men have stood the watch with us through 2 world wars. The French are traditional allies of the United States. Their planes take off from our carriers in training exercises designed to standardize combined operations. The French have long been proponents of naval air power. Joint training operations ensure the teamwork that will be required if aggression should start in this area. The Italians stand with us today as members of the community of Atlantic nations dedicated to maintaining a peaceful world. Their pilots, like those of the French and other nations, integrate their training with our own. Our great productive capacity permits us to provide military and economic aid for our allies overseas. The strain upon their own production is lessened and standardization of equipment is achieved. The United States and other Atlantic nations have joined in contributing naval power through NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, to provide a total greater than that of any aggressor nations. Only in this way can peace be preserved. The peaceful intentions of our ships have never been questioned by reasonable nations of the world. They have dropped anchor in friendly ports all over the Atlantic and Mediterranean area. And the people of those ports have come aboard as friendly visitors, where they have seen for themselves the modern power which our ships represent. Keeping alive the warm friendships of past years is one of the important missions of our Navy abroad, for there are forces at work to destroy our associations with our allies. British Wrens, like our own waves, always enjoy the seagoing Navy. So long as the combined navies of the Western world share common interests, the peace of the world will be protected. One of our big battleships drops anchor off Naples, deep inside the Mediterranean, on a visit to our 6th Fleet. No ship of any other nation on Earth can challenge the firepower of this battleship of ours. In a time of peace, she offers her salute of friendship to a friendly nation's port. And in the calm of the Sabbath, her church pennant flies for divine service. Here, not far from where Christianity was born, a priest from Florence has been invited to hold services aboard one of our carriers. To maintain the peace and protect the peoples of these countries, our ships stand watch or move on patrol. Liberty ashore for the men of the fleet in France means Paris, and Paris means the Eiffel Tower. Liberty, equality, fraternity. Les Américains are wonderful, no? The people of Denmark have always welcomed American Navy men ashore. The traditions of the sea are strong in Denmark. Though languages may differ, they share our love for liberty and willingness to fight for it. Among our closest friends are the Scotch, and our staunchest allies are the British. American waves stationed abroad are also our emissaries of goodwill with the British and their wrens. Our American ambassador in Lisbon visits one of our big ships, and the ship's Marine Guard stands inspection. The official salute for an ambassador is given him when he departs. Ranking Portuguese naval officers pay a call, marking a century and more of closest friendship for American Navy men. In contrast with an old-time sailing ship, one of our battleships rides at anchor in the harbor, a symbol of how naval power has increased. Our Navy is a roving ambassador of American friendship, moving from country to country all over the world, offering assurance that we and the world desire peace. Through it, we project our power overseas to keep war from our own shores, commanding the seas and making them a barrier to any enemy of freedom. Always alert, it requires only seconds to man the guns, whether it is an enemy plane or only a target drone that offers a challenge to crew training. Our 6th Fleet in the Atlantic and Mediterranean conducts fleet training maneuvers with the ships of friendly nations to standardize operations. By its presence, it offers assurance of protection against any aggressor nations, and the combined forces of our allies sail with us. Our aircraft carriers are capable of handling big planes carrying the atom bomb and moving them to areas from which they can hit the heart of any enemy's defenses or forces. Tomorrow's carriers will handle even larger planes, If aggression comes, one of the greatest threats to our victory may lie in the enemy's submarine fleets. The Navy has developed anti-submarine tactics employing hunter-killer teams composed of aircraft, surface ships, and submarines. With the carrier as the core of modern sea power, its planes can operate from this mobile landing field to extend anti-submarine search hundreds of miles in any direction as a part of the hunter-killer team. For the modern carrier is a highly mobile, highly defensible, and self-sufficient airfield which can move at 40 miles per hour across almost any part of the oceans. Within the scope of the hunter-killer team, it provides a replenishment base for the lighter-than aircraft that cruise far at sea in search for enemy submarines. Refueling techniques at sea extend the functions of lighter-than aircraft to make them a stable platform as a satellite to the carrier in hunter-killer operations. A vital member of the team is one of our new type submarines. Constructed to run at high speeds below the surface for long periods of time, it is one of the most modern undersea craft in the world. Another modern development in underwater detection is the helicopter, equipped with listening devices operated from close above the ocean surface. Still another partner in the hunter-killer combination is a destroyer operating special anti-submarine weapons. Once an enemy submarine is located, his time will be short. As long as our Navy remains prepared and alert, no enemy force in the Atlantic or elsewhere will ever successfully challenge our command of the sea.